Have you ever wanted to make a website for yourself or for a friend or for a business or a charity, but it felt kind of like an overwhelming task? Well, this is the video where we show you how to make a website, but we do it a little different around here. We do it for non-techies, which means anyone can do this. You're going to learn how to make this multi-page website. It comes complete with a contact form, and it's going to look great on every device someone uses to visit this website. And with the knowledge that you're going to learn in this video, you'll be able to make any type of website, such as this website or this website or this website. And everything's going to be built using this point and click, drag and drop type of tool right here, where you literally just click on something right there and say, very easy, right? Because everything we're going to do in this video is easy. And if you want to move something, you can literally just click and move it wherever the heck you want. It's all drag and drop easy. If you can make a Word document or a Google document, you can make a website. And the best part is we're going to be using some amazing free tools to pull this off. And all you're really going to need is to register a domain name and get web hosting. Don't worry, we'll cover that in a moment. But that costs so little, less than it costs to go and eat out. Now, if you thought this video was free because it's on YouTube, it's not. It's going to cost you a thumbs up on this video down below. So if you could pay that hefty cost right now, then we'll go ahead and get started.
So the first thing you got to do is get set up with a domain name and your web hosting account. Your domain name is just going to be the name of your website. You use one every time you use the internet. It's what you type in the search bar. So like Google's domain name is google.com, Facebook is facebook.com, or Apple's is apple.com. Hosting is going to be a little bit different. Your host is where you will store all of the information that is on your website. So your text, your images, and all your files. Basically, your hosting is a computer that runs 24/7 that is there solely to hold all of the information on your website. Your domain's going to cost you about $15 a year, and your hosting can vary anywhere from $3 a month up to $9 a month, but it really just depends on the plan that you choose. So in total for both, you can expect to pay around $45 a year, but I'll show you how you can get a huge discount to make it even cheaper in just a minute. All right, so now that we know what they actually are, let's get you set up with a web hosting account and a domain name. And fortunately, we can do both of these at the same place. So all you have to do is open up your browser and go to ordernewhosting.com, and this will bring you to Hostinger. We always recommend Hostinger because in our opinion, they're the most affordable hosting, and what you get for the price is really second to none. On top of that, you can get a free domain name, and their customer service is top tier as well. But you don't have to take our word for it. There are a ton of reviews of a bunch of satisfied customers that love it for the same reasons that we do. So when you visit their site via ordernewhosting.com or the link in the description, an exclusive extra discount is going to be automatically added so you can pay the lowest price possible. That is a referral link, so you get an exclusive discount and they know you came from the channel, and it helps to support the channel as well. So if we scroll down here, we can see all of the different plans that they offer. I always recommend the premium plan because of everything that it provides at such an affordable price. You can read through the descriptions of all of them if you want, but what I'm looking for here is the free domain and the free email. And the reason I like that is because these are things that other companies would charge you extra for, but they come with this plan on Hostinger. Now, if you're looking to make more than maybe 1 to 3 websites, I would go with the business plan. Once you get into the 5 or 6 website range, the extra features that you get are just a little bit more beneficial. But don't worry, if you aren't sure, just go with the premium. You can always upgrade at a later time. For our purposes today, we're going to be going with the premium plan, so we're going to click add to cart, and you will be redirected to your checkout page. So the first thing we're going to do is choose a period of time that we want to pay for. You could do 1 month, 12 months, 24 months, or 48 months. Now, the more you pay for in advance, the more money you're going to save. I choose 12 months because the domain registration is 12 months and I want my domain name and my hosting to renew at the same time. It just helps me keep track of it. Then we're going to scroll down. It'll prompt you to create an account or log in if you already have one. And then it'll ask you to choose a payment method. So as we can see here, we could see the original price was $143.88. The domain was $9.99. The setup was $4.99. But today, for the whole year, we are paying $32.29 with the discount and with the coupon code applied. Now, this should automatically be active if you come from our link, but if not, just make sure you enter the coupon code WPCrafter to get the additional discount. So I'm going to fill this out, you fill it out, and then I will see you on the next screen. So here we are. This is going to ask us a couple questions to create a more personalized experience. So we're going to hit start now, and then I'm actually going to skip this so we can get straight to create a new website. So we're going to hit select. We're going to select WordPress. So this is where you're going to create the actual login for your website. The account that you just made was for your hosting, and that's where you'll manage things like your billing, but this is the account that you'll actually use to log into your website and make any changes. So we're going to select a language, which for me is English, the admin email, and then I will make a password. This is going to ask us about if we want to install any plugins. Don't worry, I will explain what those are later as well. So I'm going to skip that. I don't need a template. We're going to skip that. We will write our own content later. So remember earlier we talked about your domain name. This is the step where we can do that. This is the address that's going to be pointed at your website. So if you have a domain name in mind, you're going to click select and you're going to type it in here. And then once you do that, you're going to click search and it'll tell you if it's available or not. I also want to point this out. If you click this drop down arrow, you can choose from .net, .online, .com, but of those, I always recommend .com. So I'll type in a domain that I know is taken, so you can see it'll tell you the domain is already taken. Try searching for some other domain. Keep in mind that there are over 1 billion websites, so your first choice may be taken, but keep trying until you find one that you like and that is available. So then what we'll do is click continue, and then we'll be brought to a page where you can add all of the registration information for the domain name. So this is where you'll attach all your personal or business information to the domain, so that way they know if there's an issue with the domain or the account, they know who the owner is and they know how to contact them. Then once you enter all of this information, you're going to hit finish registration. So then you'll be brought here. This is where you can do a quick overview of your information. You're going to hit finish setup. So this is just getting everything set up for us. And once it's all said and done, you're going to go over here and click edit website. So this is the WordPress admin area, also known as the dashboard. This is where you're going to manage everything for your website, everything on the front end, which is what your users are going to see, and then also everything on the back end, which is what makes it work. If you're getting this message, basically what that means is sometimes it takes 12 to 24 hours for your domain name to point to your website and get active and recognized on the internet. So this is hosting your solution just for the interim. So while that's getting connected, you can still edit and look through a preview of your website. So what you can do is close out of that. And then if you hover your mouse over the name of your website and click visit site, it'll take you to a preview of what your site looks like right now. Now this doesn't look great. And honestly, some developers and agencies will charge you upwards of $500 just to get here. And you've gotten here by yourself for like $40 and in 10 minutes. So you're already on a roll. So then let's just click the back arrow to get back to where we were. And we are back at the dashboard. Now, depending on what company you choose for your hosting, you might get a lot of ads and things down here that are commanding your attention that say you need to set up or sign up. And that happens because a lot of hosting companies will pre-install a ton of plugins on your website, similar to how your phone comes with a bunch of apps pre-installed. A plugin is just a little app or a program that you can install on your website for free, and it'll help you do certain things or optimize your website in some way. So for example, WordPress doesn't have a contact form by default, so you can download a plugin that makes it possible to add a contact form. But most, if not all of the plugins that usually come installed on a website, you don't really need. So if you look over here on the left-hand side, we're going to click plugins. And you can see all of the plugins that came with this website. So what we're going to do is check this box, so it selects all of them. Click this drop down and click deactivate, and then hit apply. And then we're going to do the same thing, but instead of clicking deactivate, we're going to click delete. You can't delete any plugins that are currently active, so we had to make sure they were all deactivated before we could delete them all. So now let's go back to our dashboard. And if you had all of those pop-ups, you should see it looking much cleaner now. So let's take a look at everything else down the left-hand side of our website now. You have your posts, which make up the blog content of your website. You have your media, which is where you're going to manage all of the photos and videos that are on your website. You have your pages, which is going to be your homepage, your contact page, your about page. And you have your comments, which is where you can manage what visitors are commenting on your posts and other things on your website. So let's clean this up the same way we cleaned up our plugins. So we start with a fresh slate. So let's click posts on the left-hand side here. This is a post that comes standard on every WordPress website. We're just going to click that and we're going to move that to the bin and apply. And then we're going to go to our pages as well. And we're going to do the same thing, move to bin and apply. So now going back to our website, if we click this Hello World post, we can see it is no longer there. So let's get back to our dashboard. And now we're going to navigate on the left-hand side. We're going to hover over settings and then click general. So there's a couple general settings we're going to change before we get started editing. First of all, this is your site title. You can change that. It is going to say preview domain until it is ready. This is going to be your tagline, which is where you're going to briefly explain what your website is about, what your company does, what services you offer. You want to keep these two the same because if you change them, it will break your website. This is your admin email address. If that is incorrect, you're going to want to change that. And then you can change your date and time format. So I'm going to change that to English United States, and I will change this to New York. I'm going to change my date to be month, day, year, and I'll change my time format. And then I'm going to save my changes. And then on the left-hand side again, we're going to navigate to permalinks under settings. Now, a permalink is how your link will look in the search bar. So you can choose which one of these you want it to be. I always like to do post name. I feel like that's the most readable. It's the easiest to understand. So we click post name and we're going to scroll down and save our changes again. Now we're going to go over to the left, hover over appearance and click themes. So the theme is the overall design, look, and feel of your website. You can see here, this is our current theme, but there are a ton of different themes for different types of websites and different businesses. At least that's how it used to be. But nowadays you can download one theme and then you can customize that to fit any type of website you need. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is go up here to add new, and then the theme we're going to be installing is actually right here, but we're going to search for it in the search bar up here on the top right. So we're going to type in Astra, A-S-T-R-A. and click enter. Then we're going to click this theme. We can see all of the details about it. We can click around, see what it looks like. It has a 5-star rating, 5,304 ratings at the time of recording this. So what we're going to do is go up here and click install and then click activate. Anyway, so I don't know why it gave me that trouble, but I had to come back here and activate it from here. But now we have this theme activated. So now let's take a look at what our website looks like now. All right, very, very impressive. Clearly leaves a little bit to be desired, but this is the building blocks of what will allow us to create whatever website we want. So to get back to our dashboard, we're just going to click up here. The next thing we're going to do is install a plugin. So we're going to head over to plugins, hover over it, and then click add new. And we're going to search for starter templates. So this is the one we're looking for. Again, 5 stars, over 4,000 ratings, 1 million active installations. This is what's going to save us hours of work and take this from a blank slate to a professional looking website in seconds. It'll allow you to import and choose from hundreds of different templates that'll fit whatever you need out of your website. So we're going to click install and then activate. Once you're here, you're going to find C library under the plugin name and click that. Scroll down and click build your website now. In this tutorial, we'll be using Elementor, so we're going to click that. And now you can see all of the amazing templates that you have access to. Some of these you have to pay for. Those are marked as premium, but even the free ones are absolutely stunning. So if you see the one that you like, let's say you want to start an online store, you can click that. Minimize this section with this arrow and click around the website and see if this is, what's right for you, your store, your business, your brand. And if after a while you're like, you know what, this isn't for me, bring this back out, click the X, and you can go right back to finding the perfect design for you. And as you see up here at the very top, you can either search for a template or you can find one by industry using these drop-down menus here. Now, I think Love Nature is the best starting point. So I'm going to click that, and here you can see you can upload your logo, which is going to end up right here. I will show you how to do that in WordPress later, so we're going to skip and continue. Here you can change the site colors, so if you want to try different color schemes, you could see it changing there, and it'll change throughout the website. And same with the fonts. But again, I'll show you how to change that later, so we're going to scroll down to the bottom here and click continue, submit and build my website. So what this is doing right now is just installing the template, installing any plugins, and any pages that are included that you need for this website. It's also making it mobile friendly, which means it's making sure it looks good on tablets and phones, and this on average takes anywhere from 20 seconds to about a minute. And also, if you ever wanted to change and try a different template, you'll follow the same process we just went through. Just know that if you do that, it will rewrite your entire website. Now that it's done, it took about 20 seconds. So just as a reminder, not too long ago, this is what our website looked like. And now it looks like this. Fully loaded with navigation, all these different pages, every plugin you need. And that's the beauty of starter templates. It gives you so much for absolutely free. It does all the heavy lifting. It's built the pages for you. It's given you the design. It gives you such a strong starting point. And now at this point, really all we have left to do is learn how to customize it. So now realistically, all we have left to do is insert our own pictures, videos, and text into the website to really make it ours. If you're viewing a page, up here in the admin ribbon, you can click Edit with Elementor. So once you're in the Elementor editor, you might get a prompt that says to turn on containers. This is a feature that enhances the layout options within Elementor. So you're going to find Activate Container, you're going to click that link, and you're going to go right here where it says Flexbox Container, and where it says Default, you're going to drop down that menu, click Active, scroll down and save your changes. This is going to be in your Elementor settings under features. And this is something you're going to want to keep your eye on. These are things that often add new features or enhancements to your website that can really take it to the next level. So while they may be in their experimental phase, it's still something that's worth keeping your eye on. So now that we're done, we're going to go back to our site and click Edit with Elementor. So here we are. This is the Elementor editor. Something I want to point out, if these say section, if you click on it, you will get a button right over here that says convert, and that'll just take that section and convert it to a container. But for now, we're going to close out of this navigator. So before we start editing, let's talk about containers. What is a container? Well, basically a container is just like a section of your page that holds content. So you can see this dotted line right here, that's a container. Everything in this is held in this container that you can identify up here with these 6 black dots. And you can see all of these rectangles within the container that represent different widgets. Now, what is a widget? They can be anything from text to images or buttons or even complex things like forms or galleries. You see, in Elementor on the left-hand side here, these are all of your widgets. There are a ton of them to experiment and play around with, but these up here are generally going to be the most important, specifically the heading, the image, the text, the button, and the container up here. Now, the heading widget is typically used to create titles or the headings for pages and posts. So if we click this, we can see that this is a heading. Over here, you'll see what kind of heading it is. There is H1 through H6, and those are just organized by order of importance. So your H1 is going to be the most important heading on the website, and so on and so forth. And like we mentioned earlier, there is the container widget. Like I said, this almost acts like the house that stores all of the other widgets. You can also customize its layout in this menu. So if I wanted everything horizontal instead of vertical, I could do that. If I went to style, I could change the background to a different image or just a solid color in here. And then some more advanced things like padding and margin. If you don't know what padding and margin are, don't worry, I will explain those in just a minute. Then there is also the button widget. Now, this allows you to create interactive buttons on your web page. You can customize its text, what it's linked off to, and just like everything else, you can change its style in the Style tab over here. But these are generally used for calls to action like sign up, learn more, buy now. Usually buttons are used to guide users towards a specific action. And you'll see this is different from the H1, not just because of its size, but this is what you're going to use to format all the other text that's on your web page. This will be used for things like product descriptions or about sections. And just like the heading, over here you can change what it says. You could change the style of it, how you want it aligned. You can change the text color. If you click this, you can see all of the theme colors so that you're always choosing something that looks good on your website. And you have your advanced section again. Like I said, this is ideal for paragraph, lists, and other text content that isn't a heading. And if we scroll down here, we can see the image widget. Now, this is what you're going to use to insert and customize images on your web page. You'll choose your image right here by clicking Choose Image, and you can upload things to your media library, or something cool that Starter Templates comes with is it's integrated with Pixabay, which is a massive library of stock photos that you can choose from to just download directly to your website. This is just another one of those really cool ways that Starter Templates makes building your website incredibly easy. So if I wanted to change that picture to this one, I would click the download, and there it is. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo that, but that's how you use the image widget. Same thing over here. You could change the style of it. You could change the opacity, which is how see-through the image is. And then in advanced, again, you have your layout options like your padding and your margin. And I guess now is as good a time as any to explain what padding and margin is. So, exactly is padding and margin. So imagine your content is like a picture frame. Padding is the matting that goes inside the frame, creating space between the picture, which is your content, and the frame's edges, which is your container. It adds breathing room to make sure that the picture doesn't touch the frame directly. On the other hand, margin is like the empty space on the wall that surrounds the frame itself. It defines how much space there is between the frame, or your container, and other objects nearby. It helps give the design balance and prevent it from feeling too crowded. So now that we have that understanding, if you wanted to create a new section on your website using containers, you would click this plus and then choose whichever one of these fits your needs. So I'm going to choose this, and then we're going to click this grid up here to get back to our widget menu. So let's say we wanted to put everything in its own container in here. Let's do a heading and then an image and then some text. So we can see all of this is sitting nicely within this one container. So if we wanted to make everything go horizontal, we could, or vertical, or reversed, but let's stick with vertical. The text, if I wanted to center that, I would center that here under alignment. Let's choose the picture we recently downloaded from Pixabay, and we can center that as well. And then we can make this text say whatever we want by editing it here or over here. And that's how easy it is editing with Elementor. You just drag and drop whatever you need. Drag it in, drop it, and you're good to go. And like I said, editing everything is pretty much the same. You have your content, your style, and your advanced settings. Or if you're in a container, your layout, your style, and your advanced settings. So we're going to delete this because we don't need it. And then always make sure you click update to save your changes. Now let's talk about this menu down here. So you have your navigator. This is just going to give you an overview of what your website looks like. What I like to do is bring it up, bring it over to the right, and I keep it on the right-hand side here so that I always know where I am in the website, and it also makes it easier to just navigate through. So you'll see once you drop it down, you can click something, it'll bring you right there. So down here as well, we also have history. If you click this, this shows you all of your editing history. So this is going to keep track of all of the edits that you have made in this session. So that way, if you make a bunch of edits, say you're trying a bunch of different colors, a bunch of different fonts, and you just need to get back to where you were when you started, you can scroll all the way down, click where you started, and it'll bring you back to where you were and undo all of the things you changed. You can also preview your changes with this. This just shows you a live view of what it currently looks like. And then there is responsive mode. So responsive mode opens this little ribbon up here, and it'll show you what your web page looks like across different devices. So we can see, all right, this does not look great on a tablet. That's something we should fix. Or on mobile, all right, there are things missing. Why is that grayed out? And I'll teach you how to fix this at the end once we have everything designed, but that's how you're gonna check to make sure that your design looks great across all of the different devices. So now that we have that understanding, like I said, really all we have left to do is insert our own pictures, videos, and text, and then this website is our own. So let's get into it. So for this website, I was thinking let's just turn this into like a pet sitting service. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the background by clicking these 6 dots. And then I want to do a slideshow. So we're going to add images. So we'll add this one. And then in the free images library from Pixabay that I mentioned earlier, let's just search for pets. And I'm just going to grab a couple that I like. And then for my gallery, I'm just going to select these 3. And then down here, click create new gallery. Now here we can change the order that the pictures are gonna show. So let's do the corgi and then the cats and then back to another dog. Insert gallery. And I want this on an infinite loop. So that way it just plays over no matter what. This is gonna be the duration that each one plays for. So let's make that a little shorter. Let's do 3.5 seconds. I like the fade transition, but there's different ones here you can play around with. We're gonna go back up to fade. You'll see here next to background size, this little desktop icon. That means that what you're changing here is only going to affect the desktop. So if I go into responsive mode and go to tablet or mobile, they'll have a similar icon, which means you're only editing for that viewpoint. And then I want to turn on the Ken Burns effect. Now the Ken Burns is just like a slight zoom in. It just adds a little bit of movement to it. I think it looks nice. I'm going to go to the background overlay and I'm just going to make the opacity. I'm just going to make it a little bit darker so the text and the button pop off a little more. And then over here, I'm just gonna change this copy now. So I'm gonna take this from We All Love Nature, and we'll just say, now I'll change this text. Let's say, and then for all of this, I want to justify the content to the center. And this is our new hero section. And again, all I did there was go into these 6 dots, into style, and change this to a slideshow. I changed the copy here, change the copy here, and then I'm going to change the button just to say book a stay. And then if I wanted to add a link, I could add that link right here. So now I'll scroll down and we'll say, and I'll change this to pet sitting, sitting, grooming, training. Something to be aware of when you're editing sections like this, these images are all the same size. So just be aware of whatever images you put in here. If they are different sizes, it's gonna look weird and it's not gonna look as clean as this. So if you have any control over the aspect ratio or the size of your images, I would definitely take that control to make this look as clean as possible. So let's change this image. So see now, again, these are all the same size images, so this looks just fine. As scroll down here, you'll start to notice again, it's all the same basic building blocks. This is a heading. This is an H4, so it's a little smaller, but it's bigger than just a regular text. This is an image. All of that is nested in a container. So if you wanted to take a testimonial, change the image, you could click it and then click choose image. And you could replace it with this. You could change this testimonial, so we'll just change that to thank you, Jane. Scrolling down, this is an About Us section, so this is probably where it would make sense to put a picture of you. So you could choose your image and upload this picture of you. You could change the alignment of it if you wanted to with these buttons right over here. If you go to style, you could change the width of the image, which is more or less the same as like changing the size of it. You have a find out more button, which you can link, I would imagine, to like, again, an about or a services page, which you could do right here. You could change your copy here and here. And then this is the last container we have to edit. And then our homepage is pretty much done. So let's take this, go to style, and let's just choose another image for the background here. Let's do another type of pet. Let's do a guinea pig. Hey, look at this little guy. That's a good little guy. So his head's a little cut off here. So what I'm gonna do is change the position to top center, and we'll see, all right, now the whole pig is in frame, but now the bottom is cut off. So let's try center. Perfect. Now let's go back to the background overlay, make that darker. So we're going to click this, make it black, and then change the opacity. Now I want this text to be white so it pops off. So we're gonna go to the text, the style tab, and the text color we're going to make white. Now you could do that either by using the color picker like I just did, or you can go to this little globe icon, which is going to have all of the global colors used across the website. So I could choose one of these as well. I'm going to do the same here. So click, go to style, click the theme colors, find the white, and there we go. And I want to justify all the content again to the center. And that is how you would edit this page to make it your own. I mean, that's really it. I mean, the bulk of learning how to do this is just learning the different tools that you're going to be using in Elementor. So if you were to take everything you learned and just do those changes across the whole website, then boom, you have your own custom website ready to go. So the only things left we really have to do now are change the logo, change the theme colors. We'll go over editing the header and the footer, and then we just have to make sure everything looks good on tablet and mobile. So for the next part, we're actually going to be getting out of Elementor and back into the theme customizer so we can change up the header, the footer, the logo, and the site icon. So make sure you hit update to save the changes to your website. And then we're going to go up to this menu and we're going to click exit. So if we look at our website, this is going to be our header. The very bottom is our footer. This is our logo, and this little icon right here that's going to come up on different tabs is going to be your site icon. So Elementor can edit pretty much every part of your website except for these things. So we're going to click this to get back to our dashboard. We're going to go over to the left-hand side and look for appearance. You're going to hover your mouse over it, and then you're going to click customize. So this right here is where you're going to go to edit your header, footer, your site logo, your icon, and your global colors as well. So if we go up to global and colors, this is where we can change the color palette. So see this yellow right here and how it changes to like a darker yellow when you hover. If I click color 1, and let's say I make that a nice light blue, and I click color 2, and I make that a slightly darker blue, you'll see that it now changes, and it'll be like that across the entire website. So anything that was using those colors is now using these new colors. So if I wanted to make all the text just black, I could do that, and you'll see again, everything that was that kind of darker green color is now black. So we'll publish that to save our work. We'll go back again, and then to edit our header, we're going to click on the header builder. Now you'll see right down here is like a drag and drop version of the menu that we have up here. So this is your primary menu, this is the button, and we'll see if I drag this, like if I wanted to put that in the center, it'll reflect to change that. Or if I wanted to put it over here next to the logo, I could do that as well. To change the logo, we're going to click site title and logo, so we can remove that. And then if you have one, you would upload it here and you could select it from here. You can change the logo width, which is effectively kind of just changing like the size of it. And then at the very bottom, if you scroll all the way down, you can see site icon, you'll click that. So you would then click select site icon. Say you wanted to use the same logo that you used, crop it into a square, or you can skip cropping. And you'll see now up here, your logo, or your icon, I should say, sorry, is set. We're gonna go down to the footer builder, and you'll see you can customize this the same way that you did with your header. So if I wanted to make these on separate lines even, I could. But that doesn't look great, so we're gonna keep them all on the same line. That is how you would customize your header and your footer. So again, we'll hit publish to save our work. We're gonna go back, and if we look all the way down here to menus, we can see main menu, which is currently set to primary menu, so we'll click that. And so this is where you will change the contents of the primary menus. So if you wanted about and services to be changed around, this is where you would do that. So you could drag it either under, or if you drag it over and a little bit to the right, you'll see that the indent is there. Leave it there and it creates a drop-down menu. I don't want to do that, I want to keep it just the 4. You can also add items. So you could add posts, different pages, or other custom links. You would do that all through here. And that's how you're going to edit your primary menu. So we're going to go back, and that is how you're going to edit your header, your footer, your global colors, change your site logo, and your site icon. Always remember to hit publish when you're done to save your changes. And now let's talk about responsiveness. So we're going to close out of that, head over to our pages, find our home page, and click edit with Elementor. And let's open up the responsive mode that I talked about earlier. So right here at the bottom, click responsive mode. That's going to bring this ribbon up. And like I said, you click tablet or click mobile, and it'll show you a preview of what your website's going to look like on that device. So if we go to tablet and scroll down, we can see this is still looking bad. So let's make this a little wider. That looks much better. Everything seems to be looking pretty good. We can see this is grayed out, so let's click these 6 dots. We'll go to style, and it looks like we have to choose the image for this. So this little icon right here that says tablet portrait, that basically is just saying whatever you change here is only going to be changing on tablet. So we'll choose our image, we'll click this little pig again, hit select, and we're good. If it was doing that on tablet, it's going to be doing that on mobile as well. So now looking at mobile, everything seems to be looking pretty good. Everything looks good through here. We can see, we'll talk about this in a second, but we can see that this background, once again, because it was set for desktop and tablet, we have to set it for mobile as well. So we're going to choose our image, choose the little pig, and boom. Now this is grayed out because it's not going to show on mobile. So if we were to open this in preview and scale it down, we will not see it. All right, and so we are all done. Just remember, this is where you started and this is where we are now. It is a completely different website, and you can use these same tools and techniques to customize every other page on your website to make it truly your own. Now I do want to dive back into the dashboard real quick just because there are a couple things I want to show you before we call it a day on this tutorial. So here we are back in the WordPress dashboard. If you remember earlier when we went to our settings, the site title was showing you a preview domain. So now that it has propagated and it is all good, we can update this. So we'll just do perfect pet retreat. We'll call it that. And we'll notice that it changed up here, and then our tagline. And so that's how you would change that. I just realized I spelled retreat wrong. So if you remember earlier, like I said, the first 12 to 24 hours is going to have that preview domain. For me, for whatever reason, it took like 3 days, I think. But now that it's done what it needed to do, I can go in and change the site title and the tagline. We're going to just scroll down here and hit save changes. And then the only other thing I want to show you is how to create a new page. So let's click pages. And then right up at the top here, we're going to click add new. We get welcomed back to the block editor. We'll close out of that. So just add a title. So let's call this services. And then we're going to publish it. And we're going to click edit with Elementor. So on this brand new page, click this starter templates logo, and what you'll see here is every template that is in starter templates. And the really cool thing about this is that if you click like Love Nature, for example, it has all of these pages ready to go. So if you say really liked a page from Brand Store, but you wanted to use the Love Nature template, you could click Brand Store and choose any of these pages, and you could just import that template right to your website. And something really cool is that no matter what you pick, all of the settings from your parent theme trickle down. So colors, fonts, all that stuff automatically changes to fit your current theme or the template that you're using. Additionally, if you click blocks, it has a ton of pre-made little sections here. So if you wanted to create a custom page, say you wanted to do a hero section, so we can add that by clicking it and then clicking import block, and then we will install another block. So then let's do testimonials. Let's say you want to use this one, and then import block again, and then we'll just do one more. Let's say a contact form, and we'll use this one. So now you have kind of like the outline of a really cool custom page, and all you had to do was click this starter templates button and import one of these blocks. And like I said, if you wanted to just import a whole page, you would just go to pages, click whatever template you wanted to choose, and then click what page you want to import. So I will show you how that works really quick. So let's delete these and then click starter templates, click Love Nature, and say we wanted to import this contact. So we will import the template, and there it is. And like I said, the really cool thing about that is whether you choose a page from a different template or the same template you were using, it inherits all of the styles that you're already using. So fonts, colors, all of that is automatically going to change and fit perfectly with your website.
Congratulations, you just made your first website. And with the knowledge that you gained, you can use it to make any type of website that you need. Now that you have your website, there might be some additional things that you might want to do to it. Maybe adding e-commerce to it, or maybe SEO optimizing it. There's lots of things that you can do to your website, and we have tutorial videos on all of it. So if you visit the video description of this video, we have a selection of next step videos for you to continue your learning on how to get the most out of your brand new website. And of course, subscribe to the channel. We would love to have you as a subscriber here. And when we release new videos, you'll get a notification of those videos, and you can continue learning and growing in your web creation skills through the videos that we have. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I hope to see you in the next video.